What's up, guys? We're back here at GOMTV.net, and it's time for First against SuperNova, an unexpected final that we have here today.
Yeah, it's hard to
primarily
say
because Sulky's not in it,
and Symbol isn't here either. Like, if you look at those four players, like, can you guess one of the top two players here?
Well, we can't.
No, seriously.
But,
no, you said first. You said first.
Yeah. I was trying to, I'm your bro. I got your back, man. I got you covered.
Thanks.
No, I mean, really, though, the fact that Sulky's not here and that SuperNova won those games in a very convincing fashion, that was a very complex TVZ. I know that the first game involved a 6-pool, which is telling us that actually Sulky is quite afraid of SuperNova.
Yeah, that could be what that's saying, and rightfully so.
SuperNova oftentimes goes command center first, but
SuperNova played that really, really well.
Really well.
Yes.
He likes those Reaper openings because he's safe against cheese. He can scout. He can harass if his opponent makes a mistake. I love it.
Yeah, it's just great play, and to just always open Reaper is like another level of confidence, I feel. I think he really understands the ins and outs of it. Goes well with his build. Yeah. He likes to go into those blue Hellbat drops. I don't know what to call them.
Blue Flame Hellbats?
Yeah, it doesn't sound the same as Blue Flame Hellions. I guess you're just Hellbat drops with the Blue Flame.
We got for our
water bat drops is more what
remember,
it looks like.
Okay, I said this. I made this joke in a StarCraft 1 cast, and I was really hoping somehow it would come true. As I was like, all right, I got an idea. I want to crowd control Zerglians, and I want to be able to repair my buildings. What do I need? I need water bats. My building's on fire. I'm just like click on my barracks and my water bats.
Or you could just use SCVs.
Somebody from Blizzard's watching, all right? That's open source. You can have the water bat, all right? I got better units up here, all right? But I'm not just going to say them, okay?
You definitely shouldn't.
Water bats.
Water bats.
The water bats.
I'm with you. I want water bats. I think that's a great idea.
What's a great Zerg unit we could make up?
Well, hold on. How about... You know what? The reverse of a Viper, a Band-Aid bug. Instead of hurting a building, it goes up and heals the building with a water gun.
Here's a better idea. Every time you see on one of these maps a giant skeleton that is bigger than the Ultralisk, they should have infested that too.
They should have. It's too.
There's something bigger than Ultralisk.
That's why you see that.
They just need the DNA.
What if it was like peaceful?
If you play the single player, man, Zerg could just get like the DNA or whatever. Actually, I don't know.
If it's fossilized, then that doesn't work. If it's fossilized, because then, like, if it's fossilized already underground, that doesn't necessarily mean there's DNA. That's why we need the amber.
See, if you play the single player, I can make this joke about the guy that evolved stuff, and that they just bring him the bones, and he'd be
like, don't you give me spoilers about Heart of the Storm, man. I'm not playing that for another year and a half.
Yeah, he doesn't play that until the game actually
beta
ends.
For the new game, Legacy of the Void. When that beta closes, that week in between the beta closing and the game being released, that's when I'm going to be playing Heart of the Storm.
I'll be there watching. You got to stream it.
I'm going to.
It's going to be bananas.
Awesome. Everyone's like, I've already played this 100 times. Oh. Like, oh wow, you're so dumb.
They'll be giving like their input about how they beat the single player. By the way, it's actually much easier than Wings of Liberty on Brutal. It's surprisingly easy.
Wings of Liberty was kind of easy on Brutal.
I'm saying this is easier.
Only 2 missions messed me up.
I'm saying this is actually easier.
Wow, it's pretty easy.
So who do you think wins here between First and SuperNova?
I would say First probably. He's bringing in his A game. In my opinion, his PvT is his best, and I think SuperNova his TVZ is his best. So this isn't his best matchup going up against what I think is First best. So, well, that's my thought on it.
I think it's going to be First 3-1, but it could be 3-2.
Yeah. I would not be surprised with a 3-1 or a 3-2. If it's like a 3-0, that's like, whoa. And if it's a 3-0, I think it's definitely First. Because, yeah, he went 0-3 against Bomber, but I think that was just an anomaly.
That was just a weird series.
As funny as it is.
That was one of those things, if you could just cover up the IDs of the pro gamers and not have you and me know who's playing, and we cast the whole game, and then they're like, okay, who was that playing? I would not have picked First.
Oh, definitely not. I'd be like, oh, I don't know, Grandmaster Protoss. But you know what? I think that there's less pressure here, because even though this is for a seed into the season finals, which actually has like more money on the line and so many WCS points, I think that isn't in First's mind as prestigious as getting into possibly the round of 4 and then the finals of the actual OSL.
One thing you got to keep in mind is experience is so important in moments like this that, I think for the fact that first lost to Bomber in a pivotal point in his career means he's probably going to be a lot more prepared going into this. Now, SuperNova has almost more experience than anybody.
Yeah, he's been around
SuperNova's been around forever. He almost got the ST award. He was in 9 GSL Code S's in a row. And almost...
He was supposed to get it before MVP. He was supposed to be the second person to get it, which is like really impressive when you have someone like MVP in the world.
Yeah, no kidding.
Actually, I forget who. There's someone getting it next season, most likely.
I can't say I know. That's a lot to keep track of.
I can't remember for some reason. I don't... God, who is it? Maybe like Curious or something? I'll check later.
I don't
Someone
know about that,
tweet
actually.
at us. I'm Artosis. He's Call Me Tasteless.
All right, the map is Anaconda. And it's going to be a best of 5. They have not had the opportunity to prepare for the opposing player in this best of 5. So this is one of the only kind of improvised build order sets we're going to see from both these guys. So this should be a lot of fun. Tell your friends to tune in here at GOMTV. In the upper left, we have our Terran legend destroying Soul Key. He is
Master Azubu SuperNova.
In the bottom right, we have our Protoss legend who managed to slay Symbol. He is
New challenger LGIM first.
Well, you know what? I was just thinking of something because I was saying before that I thought that before we started that first, this is probably the best situation for first because I felt like Sulky might be a good choice to win that second match. So then he might only have practiced PVZ. That's a definite possibility. But I think that there's no reason for first to like super prepare PVT because I think just overall PVT he's so good at that if he's just kind of freestyling it and just kind of playing it like he does generally in like ladder practice or something, that's going to be something so diabolically hard to beat that might be the best way to go about it. Like, don't overthink this type of thing.
all right. We got the gateway coming down here, and again, like most things involving Protoss, we have to wait for the Cybernetics core to finish. And for Terran, we need to see how many gases they're going to get and, what their tech pattern is. They're going to go for drops or whatnot. So we're going to have a little bit of downtime here. So I have to have a talk with you, Artosis, about Battletoads again.
Battletoads, you say?
Did I already bring up Battletoads?
I don't think on stream, but we've talked about it a little bit recently.
I was streaming last night, Battletoads.
Yeah.
And if you don't know about Battletoads, you're actually a poser nerd.
Everyone knows about Battletoads.
Actually, some people
The ripoff of Ninja Turtles. And you know what the other ripoff was that was much worse than Battletoads? Do you remember?
Wait, do I? No, I don't think so.
Street Sharks.
What?
Yeah.
Street Sharks?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You want to talk about ripoff of mutant animals?
It's like, what animals?
From Turtles, they're like, well, what's exactly like
Find
Turtles?
an animal. Can it survive in water?
Yeah.
We're going to make a comic book themed action scene.
Exactly. Terrible.
Battletoads, dude, I got to level 3. I know I beat level 3. I got past the
race car or whatever?
The race car part.
Oh, that's good. That's supposed to be the hardest part, right?
Well, I think I'm the only person in the world that ever did it ever.
The only ever?
People weren't even sure if there was level 4 if it just ends, but I know.
In fact, the programmers actually just put it down after programming level 3.
What happened was after they programmed the game, the guy that, I don't know, owned the rights to Battletoads, he brought them out and killed them so that it was like a secret no one would ever see.
Well, I think the game could evolve itself some more levels because, that third level is so hard. There must be some sort of diabolical intelligence within the cartridge itself.
No, Artosis, what it actually is it's basically set up. It's like putting okay, hold on.
No, go ahead.
All right. Could have been.
I thought he might be fine.
No, yeah, no, of course. No, but seriously, man, this is so hard. I'm going to try to beat this game, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if that's
I'm man enough.
I don't think you are.
I might have hair on my chest, but I would actually have to look like a Wookiee. That's how much hair I'd have to be manly enough to actually beat that game.
You'd have to be as manly as a Pomeranian dog.
I don't know my animal breeds.
Okay, well, it's a very hairy puppy.
Is it? Okay.
It's very small, though.
Okay.
You can put it in your purse.
Oh, that's good. I don't have anything to put in my purse right now. So
yeah.
I've been carrying around this Prada bag for weeks. It's just empty, but...
It's a fake prod. I'm so sorry. Now, let's take a look at this. It's a command center first into double barracks play from SuperNova, whereas it was a gateway expand with no gas or anything from first. So kind of greedy builds from both players.
You know, it's almost unfortunate that that this Mothership Core is not going to be there when these Marines get there.
He does have 2 Stalkers. Has a single sentry on the way. If he micros just
he
right,
should be able to force the probes up the ramp, though. To get close enough.
If he really commits these, then yeah, he definitely can do that. Or the probes might even come out to fight. Ooh, that actually makes it a lot harder to micro against this.
Yeah.
So he's actually. This is already a pretty good trade for SuperNova, killing 2 probes.
Oh, if he's just a sentry.
Oh, that would be just.
Isn't it funny when people force field like that?
Yeah. I guess it slows it down slightly. Look at this. This is so effective. But at the same time, the Mothership Core is actually doing damage over in the natural base, or the expansion, I guess, of SuperNova. Oh, we got another one. Look at that. 8 probes killed. And he's going to get a few SCVs here, but his time of harassment's almost done.
That's a really smart timing there. SuperNova might be our guy, and it's so funny because even I said, oh my god, oh my god. No. Even I said, you know, I think SuperNova is the least exciting out of all the 4 players we have here today.
Well, you better start getting pumped, Tasteless.
I'm pumped right now, man.
I can tell.
So we got a robotics thing on the way here. We're feeling it, man.
Yeah, we're feeling it.
Oh,
today.
yeah.
We're in the groove.
So we got the forge coming down here. Now, it looks like we're going to have very conservative backed off play here from first.
Yes, certainly.
Which is completely normal and reasonable for what's going on right now.
Whereas with SuperNova, I think it's going to be, for him, pretty standard anyways. He's going to start to put on his harassment and whatnot, but first is really good at defending against that, so I'm not sure how much damage he'll actually be able to get done, and I'm a little bit concerned. I want for SuperNova to expand at the right time for that 3rd base. Like, is he going to be too aggressive off 2 bases? That's a possibility. It's something we have seen before from him occasionally.
Sure. Not as much as I think we've seen with Morrow historically, or Marine King, for instance, but it has happened. And I think that's a natural part of just learning Terran. And you'll see this everywhere.
I think it's there's so much success if you're really good at it, but then when you hit the very top tier Protoss, they start shutting everything down. It's like, well, you got to be able to sit back and macro heavily as well.
All right, so it looks like we're going to have a little pylon put over here. Here it is.
That's going to allow him, of course, to warp in there and do some harassment. And, yeah, everything looking pretty normal. I think we're probably going to see just Blink Colossus from first, but this could be a single Colossus play as well. Huh. Single Colossus play would not be bad against SuperNova.
Is he going to go by this Observer?
Nope.
No. Just barely misses it.
Yeah, just barely. So this drop could do some damage, but you know what? He has a probe going down there that actually probably is going to want to make a Nexus, but it's actually going to see it before it does anything. So
yep, spotted right there.
Really nice. He's not going to take any damage from this anymore. And in fact, this is a single Colossus play, so he actually wants this drop to come up here. He wants to show off that he has a Colossus, because if he can get SuperNova to start making some Vikings, his switch into Charge Lot Storm will be so much more powerful.
I love what we see here, where they just get 1 to 2 Colossi and switch into it. I still am surprised we don't see more hallucination of Colossi, and then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It seems like, I don't know. That seems to me like it would be better, but anyways.
Well.
Actually, does manage to kill off the rest of these Zealots down here. Again, you know, one of the disadvantages about when you're going for a mass Zealot like this, and you don't have a lot of Stalkers to back it up, is that you can pick up like we're seeing right here.
Yeah. And you know what? He's done a pretty good job so far with these little harassments SuperNova has. Definitely has that supply lead, but that's not a giant deal right now. But actually, we don't see Psystorm being researched, so is he actually going to go for some sort of weird Immortal Archon Charge Lot attack? That's a possibility here. Because he hasn't started Storm. Like, he should have started Storm by now if he was going to get it, for sure.
All right, another drop coming in over here again. He's just able to outposition first here, SuperNova is. And again, a lot of these Zealots are I only want to say Band-Aid solutions. They just buy a second or two of time. Oh, man. And now he knows he's going to get the Cybernetics course, so that way no Stalkers can be made, so this harass can continue.
Oh, this is getting a little bit rough, man. Supernova's dealing more and more damage, and this is a 2-base Protoss that has Templar tech and charge. Like, I don't feel like this much damage should have been done so far. I question why First isn't still playing God mode PvT, because he was doing it before. It's not like anything about the game really changed.
Yeah.
You know, it's... I'm a bit weirded out by it. A little bit scared for him. Because I really like Supernova's position at the moment.
No, Supernova's got a pretty big lead, man. He's pretty much got First controlled very well so far.
You know, the one thing he does have to do, though, is get some ghosts out ASAP. He does not have the Ghost Academy, he has not started, and he's very low on actual medevacs. He's made 6 Vikings, though, so still this tech switch did kind of mess up Supernova, and that can definitely allow for First to, like, for instance, win the next battle. Because Psystorm, without anything to counter Psystorm, is so powerful.
Okay, here we go. This should be a good feedback. Oh!
Not quite. Waiting for more energy, perhaps.
The fakie.
The double fakie.
The double fakie, yes, thank you. He's going to get the Robo now. I'm getting a little bit depressed.
Yeah.
I just thought, I thought this was going to be, at least for Game 1, a closer series. It's not like First can't win, but... I mean,
no,
you see how much First is getting abused so far in this game.
Yeah, we're going to see Supernova take a little bit of an upgrade lead, but not big enough to necessarily change the game.
Well, the thing I'm wondering is, because this map's actually pretty open, if Supernova's just going to max out and end up surrounding this army and winning.
Maybe. But you know what? I think a lot of this is going to come down to how well can he actually utilize his ghosts and continue the drops, because First is getting up to that amount of supply with that amount of ghosts, or rather Templars, where to kill him is very difficult. To defend his attacks, not as much, I think, but right now, to actually kill this Protoss is so hard if he just spreads out his High Templar. There's so many storms at his disposal. So, Supernova being the aggressive player he is, he may overextend into that.
Well, right now we have yet to see First really make any impact here. And how he's going to, solve this game up against Supernova. Really, he's been gearing up for a very passive macro game since Supernova did a lot of damage to him earlier. But he's not been. Oh, we had the sound disabled for a second. Sorry. But unfortunately, he's not quite been able to deal with the harass here from Supernova.
His supply is catching up, and when you get up to these numbers, you can definitely turtle up his Protoss really well. But there are some ghosts coming in. He is doing scans to try to figure out where are those High Templars. Can he get in and mess with them? Ooh, a nice little High Templar flank. Doesn't actually do that much.
Well, those storms are really to be saved for the actual army up here, and they weren't able to do it. And now he's going to come into this angle, and this angle so badly favors. Oh my God, so beautiful. Actually landing the Vikings just so they could soak up damage.
Ooh, that's
unbelievable.
A good storm. Really good storms coming in now, but
I know there's too much for Terran here.
Well, First, looks like First has fallen again to another Terran. GG.
Wow. I can't believe how one-sided that game was.
Yeah, Supernova really ran him through the ringer there, which is, again, really weird because First, historically, his PvT has been so strong, and
maybe it's in a little bit of a slump. And that matchup, that is very common in pro gamers. Sometimes there's one matchup where they're like, oh, God, I can't actually.
Yeah, it could be. But
I suck in this matchup.
The fact of the matter is, when he played against Fantasy, it was like literally the best games we've seen. Everything was so beautifully orchestrated. He stopped all the drops. Here, he was actually sitting on 2 bases with a Colossus out, trying to defend drops, and he still wasn't defending them. And it's like, Supernova's very good at drops, but no one is so good at drops that you shouldn't be able to do a little bit better against that.
I got to agree with you there.
As one of the best Protoss in the world, which First is.
Well, the next map is going to be Belshear Vestige. Hopefully First can pull it together. Right now, Supernova he has been on one of the biggest rolls I've ever seen in a single day of casting.
He's on a heater, Tasteless.
Yeah.
And that heater is as hot as the sun.
Wow.
In fact, it's about to go Supernova.
Oh, you're done, Artosis.
I'm done. I'll see you guys later.
It's like when the cop shoots the guy, and it turns out he had no weapon, and I'm like, give me your badge, Artosis. Give me your casting badge.
My casting badge.
The casting badge.
I'm going to reach slowly in my pocket to get my casting badge.
I can't believe how awesome SuperNova's playing. Now, I feel like that one game today, at least for first, was a little bit of a weird game. He had a good plan, but when you factor in SuperNova harassing, there's just not... I mean, look, Zealot Archon, assuming that the Terran was tricked into making Vikings, it's a very good unit composition, but it's one of those things where they have to allow you to get to that point, where you have to force them to defend so that then you can switch into this tech. What we had back there was SuperNova started dropping, and, you know, with all the structures that Protoss has inside of his base and nothing there to really shoot down the medevacs, those drops did so much damage and went uncontested. Yeah, and when he killed the core, I'm like, okay.
He was having a hard time splitting his army. Like, you would do a photon overcharge on the natural and still have his army down there when there's a drop going on in the main. And it's like, well, this adds up really quickly against someone like SuperNova.
Yeah.
Well, time to